so this is, there's definitely a risk here of me accidentally doing a Coinbase ad because this is largely led by Coinbase. So I want to give that disclaimer as well as the fact that I'm not deeply involved in the crypto space, but did spend some time looking into this yesterday. So how do payments on the internet work? They work largely through Visa, right? Or other of these credit providers.
Yeah.
The way that, actually works in practice is like, if you go buy a thing on the internet, right, you have to provide your credit card information. You have to personally, you go authorize everything with the other side. And then that gets processed by Visa. And then the banks charge like a 2% fee on that. That's why people strongly if you sell anything, people hate credit cards. And that's why you often get charged more for credit cards, because banks, the main way they make money from credit cards is they charge 2%-ish on transactions. And so if you're a shop, if you sell something online, you hate this. You're just losing 2% of your profit to the banks who are just taking it by saying, oh, we need to do this to fund credit cards. So for sellers, it actually kind of sucks. Online payments suck. And then often for a user, it's a shitty process of every time you go to a store, you have to re-enter information. You have to do all these various things.
Right.
So what Coinbase, who is a crypto company, has done is launched a new protocol where the idea is we want to have an internet system where you can pay for things through crypto that is just instantaneous. It can be automated. It can be very easy, and it does not rely on Visa or the existing banks. So they're calling it X402. And the idea is that when you request something from a website, you send an HTTP request. Yes, Brandon.
Okay, my first question is, if Coinbase controls this protocol,
they don't control it. They are the lead developers, and they're
but do they have the capability, if this were to take off and get big enough that they could then pressure sellers, wouldn't they just charge 2%? Isn't that something they could do?
That's where,
okay.
Right. So, so as it currently stands, I would argue banks are essentially taking this tax on all sellers. And if you're, I don't know, there's so many stores where 2% is a huge deal to just take for doing nothing, right? And so if you can get around that and you can just I can just directly send money to people, not having to go through this system, that could be incredible. And so 402 is basically developed a protocol where when I send an HTTP request, you are going to send back a code automatically that says, hey, to access whatever you just asked for, maybe it's a video, maybe it's a piece of data, whatever it is, you send back a code 402 that just automatically lets me know you need this much money. And this is how much I need. I can then automatically send back to you, here's the crypto information I have to my wallet. And the payment just automatically gets processed by a facilitator and the payment's done.